And we hear a lot, and there, as you probably see, a lot of people advertising, settling tax liabilities for pennies on the dollar. If someone comes in, they haven't paid, or they file, but they're just really far behind, they owe six figures, they owe $100,000, $500,000, and there's no way that they could pay that anymore. But they've been filing their returns, they just haven't been able to pay their taxes. So what happens? What are the options for a taxpayer that has not paid their taxes, but they filed?
Well, what the IRS is really looking at is your ability to pay and what assets you have. People, I think, are kind of misled by the ads that say pennies on the dollar, because the IRS is not looking at how much you owe and coming up with a percentage of what they think you should pay. What they're looking at is what you can afford to pay. You know, what they're trying to do is to collect the most amount they can for the government that's reasonable based on your ability to pay. So they look at your income and your expenses as well as your assets. And we have people who come in and say, oh, my income's, pretty low. I barely cover my expenses, but they live in a house that has a lot of equity. And if the equity in their house is more than they owe to the IRS, then they're not eligible for the program that's called an offer in compromise in most circumstances. But they can try to settle things through an installment agreement, which allows them to pay out over time.
And now the IRS actually has an offer in compromise pre-qualifier tool online. You could go to the IRS.gov website and plug in numbers, and they'll tell you whether you're eligible for this pennies on the dollar type of
It's a chart that you fill out that you can helps you do the calculations in advance to see should I try to submit an offer.